Hi everyone, this is Elizabeth with 217 Creations, and I'm here today to share with you how I made my vintage postcard that is on my blog today. Let me kind of put it there and you can see it. This is the back, and I'm going to show you how I went about getting this image printed and put onto my little handmade postcard here. So this is how we're going to get started. I'm using Windows, and so of course this will be different if you're on a Mac, but if you watch how it's done, I'm sure Mac users out there will definitely know how to do this on their computer. So what I'm going to do is go to my browser, and this website, I will have the URL written out for you. It's actually from the New York Public Library Digital Gallery. And the fabulous part about using this website is that for personal use, you pretty much can use any image you want off of their website for personal use, non-commercial. If you are interested in using any of the artwork or images for commercial, you will need to read through their details on their end user agreements on if there are any copyrights and things like that. And some images don't have the copyrights and some do have some sort of copyright. So you're going to need to check that out for yourself. But for personal use, which is what I'm using my images for, I have no reason to worry about infringing on copyright since I'm using it for personal use, non-commercial. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start out on the website, and the beauty of this website is that you can search all the collection guides for the entire catalog. So the project I was working on was for 4th of July. So I'm going to type in 4th of July into the search right up here in the search box. And you're going to get tons and tons and tons of pictures. And there's lots. And you'll have to kind of sift through and find the images that you like. But as you can see, just searching on 4th of July, there are 7 pages of images. And some are articles from newspapers or magazines. Some are postcards, which is what I'm interested in. And I love this kind of like Americana artwork, and so this is the image that I chose right here. And so you can click on the image. You can even click again and it will enlarge it for you. You can also look at the back side of the images. So I thought this was kind of cool, just nostalgic type stuff. So anyways, I have my image, and then you're going to go ahead and right click and tell it to save the image, which I've already done on this. I've saved it to my desktop to save time. So you're going to save your image, and then once you have your image saved, you're going to open up your photo editor, and I'm using Adobe Photoshop CS5. Basically what you're going to do in your photo editor is open it up, and then you're going to open the file, and so you'll have to find where you saved it. And I'm kind of naughty. I just throw everything on my desktop. I wish I was more organized, but I'm not. So here is my 4th of July JPEG. I'm going to open it. And you can tell from looking on the scale rulers on here that this image, as it's scanned, is less than an inch in width. And it's only about 1 3/4 inches in length. And so I want to get this blown up to like about 3 by 5. Or 3.5 by 5, somewhere in that range, just so that it'll fit onto a postcard. And so from here, what I'm going to do is come in on my image in Photoshop, and I'm going to choose image size. And all photo editors pretty much have something like this. You can either adjust it by pixels, percent, or in this case, I'm going to use width. That way I get kind of what I'm looking for. And I actually want to make this more like 4 by 6. So in the width, I'm going to just type in 4 and then get rid of all those and put a 0. So it's 4 inches wide. Because I have the aspect ratio locked here on the side, it's going to automatically adjust height and width for me, so I don't have to worry about that. And you can see right here on the height, it went to 5.9, which is perfectly fine for me. And you're going to tell it OK, and it's going to blow it up. So from here, in order to get my make sure to not be filling the entire canvas, I'm going to come over to my zoom level and come out to 25%. And you can see that we are just right. And it's about 4 inches by almost 6 inches. So it's perfect. And got it all set up. From here, what I did is I actually bought manila file folders from the office section in Walmart, which are not archival, but for what I'm working with, it's perfectly fine. I know that Ranger makes archival manila paper, but you do pay a lot more for that archival quality. So if archival is not necessarily a priority for you, like in this case it really isn't for me, it's more economical to just buy file folders and trim them to fit into your printer. And it's really easy to do because the file folders, once they're cut in half, are pretty close to being 8.5 by 11. It's just a little trim here and there and you'll have it. So once I printed off this image on the manila, I went ahead and began doing my artsy distressing stuff. So I ran all the edges through the Zutter, distress it all, and inked them all, of course, with Vintage Photo, which is one of my all-time favorite inks from Distress Ink from Tim Holtz. And so once I had my image all inked up, I went ahead and took a piece of chipboard that's 4 by 6, and I ran that through the Zutter and inked it. And then I covered the front of the postcard with this very nostalgic Americana type print. It's hard to see in the video, but it has like Libertyville and Eagle and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. And then on the back side, I just used some of the manila from a file folder. And I stamped with a Pink by Design stamp. This is called Postcard background stamp. And her site's wonderful. If you don't know of Sarah Pink Cricket, who designs for Pink by Design, she has fabulous stamps, and I absolutely love them. And this is one of my favorites. So I went ahead and stamped this on the back, and I'll tell you about some of the cuts on here and other details. I did some twine wrapping, and I also bought this from Pink by Design. They sell twine in sample packs and in large rolls, and for me, I just went with the sample pack because it came with several different color choices. I couldn't make up my mind enough to buy whole spools. Up here on the top, the 1776, I cut that from the Cricut cartridge Independence Day, and it was just cut out of silver glittered cardstock. And then I just mounted it on there and added a little star embellishment. In the corner, this one says Happy 4th of July. I stamped this. As you can see from the image that I started with, it said Happy 4th of July on the bottom, but I didn't particularly care for that. I really wanted to be able to stamp this sentiment from Pink by Design, and so I trimmed off the 4th of July with my paper trimmer before I did all my embellishing and stamped this. And this is from Vintage Greetings. And I absolutely love how that turned out. Super cute. And that is my postcard. So they're pretty easy to make. I'm going to be working on some other ones for a design team I'm on called Vintage Heartfelt Designs. And one of our themes coming up in July is going to be Vintage Christmas, which I absolutely love. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on a vintage Christmas one that I'll have to share with you. And I hope that this kind of gives you some idea if you like the vintage themed items. Sometimes it can be a little difficult to find them for specific holidays or themes. And for me, using the NYPL Gallery has really made it a lot easier for me to find my images. And as I stated before, please make sure that if you are going to use any of the images, you follow through with the user agreements on the copyrights. So thank you so much, and as always, I appreciate comments, subscribers, and followers. And if you want more of a photo step-by-step of how I made this postcard, I will have that on my blog at www.217creations.com. Once again, thanks again, everybody, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.